Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? Oven roasted chicken and vegetables is a quick, easy, and delicious meal to make for your family any day of the week. It's also an inexpensive, and better yet, healthy meal. Simply season the chicken with your favorite Italian salad dressing or olive oil, garlic, salt and pepper, and sage. I have to have sage. I love it. It turns boring, bland poultry into a flavor-packed carnival in your mouth. But like I've said before, and you guys already know, everyone is always busy with no time, desire, or know-how to make a homemade meal for their families. They want something quick, easy, and hopefully delicious. So they take that all-too-familiar trip down frozen food lane and pick up a Stouffer's Fit Kitchen or Great Value's Fit Menu oven-roasted chicken dinner. The Stouffer's Fit Kitchen oven-roasted meal weighs 13 1/4 ounce and costs $2.98 at Walmart, which is white meat chicken with diced red skin potatoes, broccoli, and a savory wine sauce. Stouffer's wants to talk fit. They say with bold flavors and wholesome nutrition, Stouffer's Fit Kitchen meals offer a great balance of delicious and nutritious. Red skin potatoes are the main ingredient. You kind of think chicken would be the main ingredient, with it being a roasted chicken dinner. But the thing that really surprises me is there's a lot more ingredients and additives in here than there are in other Stouffer's non-fit meals, like their lasagna and macaroni and cheese. Look at how few ingredients are in these. You'd think that something as simple as roasted chicken and vegetables would have the fewest ingredients, but there's quite a few in here. The serving size is the whole meal, which has 260 calories, 4 grams of total fat, 2 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 60 milligrams of cholesterol, 750 milligrams of sodium, 30 carbohydrates, 5 grams of fiber, 5 grams of sugars, and 26 grams of protein. Now I find this very interesting. The only way to heat this up is in the microwave, and it specifically says, do not cook in the oven. So let's get it out of the box and heat it up. Right out of the box, it looks good. And I really like that it has broccoli florets rather than broccoli stems, which you usually find in frozen meals. So first I need to peel the corner of the film. Then it goes into the microwave for 5 minutes on high, and then after 5 minutes, give it a stir, then recover and microwave for another 3 minutes. After cooking for a total of 8 minutes and resting for another minute, our Stouffer's Fit Kitchen roasted chicken meal is ready. I gave it all a good mix, and then I went in for a piece of chicken first. And thankfully, it was real chicken, and it wasn't bad, but I really wish these companies would use dark meat in some of these meals. I'm just not a big fan of chicken breast, but overall, the chicken is pretty good. Next, I tried a red skin potato. It had sort of a slimy coating on the outside, which I really didn't like. And the texture of the potato was a bit plasticky, if that makes sense. Then I tried a piece of broccoli, which held up really nicely. It was right at that perfect point, not too crisp and not too mushy, just right. I ate another piece of chicken and I was curious. Why are there grill marks on roasted chicken? I mean, it's possible, but I doubt they're real grill marks, so why add them? Finally, I got a fork full of everything. And everything together was okay, but the overall flavor was simply underwhelming. There really wasn't much flavor in the chicken, vegetables, or wine sauce. It was pretty bland. Now let's try the Great Value Fit Menu oven roasted chicken meal. I obviously got it from Walmart. This 13-ounce meal costs $2.97, 1 cent less than the Stouffer's. The meal description-wise is basically exactly the same as Stouffer's. White meat chicken with diced red skin potatoes, broccoli, and a wine and herb sauce. Now the ingredient list is what I expected to be on both meals. Just very simple ingredients. This meal doesn't have any soy added or any other additives that the Stouffer's had. So I'm very impressed so far with the very basic ingredients in this meal. But it says it's a roasted chicken meal, but right there in the ingredients it says grilled seasoned chicken. The serving size is the whole meal, which has 310 calories, 8 grams of total fat, 2 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 60 milligrams of cholesterol, 890 milligrams of sodium, 36 carbohydrates, 5 grams of fiber, 3 grams of sugars, and 25 grams of protein. Now you can eat this one in the microwave or oven. So I'm going to cook this one in the oven. So let's get it out of the box and heat it up. And right out of the box, just like the Stouffer's, it looked pretty good. I was supposed to cut a 2-inch slit in the plastic, but it was already open on the corner, so that'll be sufficient. Now it goes into a preheated 350-degree oven for 45 to 55 minutes. After 45 minutes in a 350-degree oven, our meal is ready. and it smelled really good before I took off the plastic. But once I removed the plastic, it didn't look very good. It wasn't nearly as vibrant as the Stouffer's. So I gave it a mix, and as you can see, the broccoli was mush and the roasted potatoes turned into mashed potatoes, which isn't really a bad thing because I love mashed potatoes too. I tried the chicken first. And right away, that's the flavor I expected. Sage. The chicken was delicious, but it was a little dry, but still tender and tasty. Next, I tried the potatoes, which had just enough texture to stab with a fork. And they were also a little bit dry. But again, the flavor from that sauce is delicious. The broccoli, well, it was a mushy mess. And I cannot stand mushy broccoli. But it had the sauce on it, which made it edible. Finally, I took a bite of everything. And even with the overcooked vegetables, it was delicious. Because, if I haven't mentioned it already, that sauce is delicious. It makes anything you put it on delicious. So let's go back and go over the Stouffer's meal first. It definitely looked a lot better than the Great Value. The broccoli had good texture, the chicken was real and pretty good, and even though the potatoes were not overcooked, they had some sort of slimy mouthfeel on them. But flavor-wise, the meal was very bland. And I was really surprised at the amount of ingredients. So with everything considered, I'm giving the Stouffer's Fit Kitchen meal a 5 out of 10. If it had the flavor that the Great Value meal had, it would be a 7 out of 10. The Great Value meal looked horrible once it was cooked. The broccoli was a disaster, and the roasted potatoes turned into mashed potatoes. Great Value needs to have a talk with their R&D department because the oven cooking time is way off. The chicken was real chicken and pretty good, but a little dry. But the star of this meal was that savory sauce. It was like I would make it at home. It was absolutely delicious. The sauce literally saved this meal from being a complete flop. I'm going to try another one of these Great Value meals in the microwave and see if there's any difference. So with all this said, I'm giving the Great Value meal a 5 out of 10 as well, with 2 of those points for the sauce alone. If the vegetables weren't so overcooked, it would have probably gotten an 8 out of 10. If you'd like to help support the Wolfe Pit, consider being a patron. You can pledge as little as $1 a month, that's only $12 for the whole year. Or you can pledge more, that's up to you. Either way, every little bit's appreciated and helps me produce more high-quality videos more often for you, the people. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.